Sometimes, the scariest stories aren't about monsters or ghosts. They're about things that shouldn't exist, but somehow do. This story happened to a guy named John Miller, a college kid who worked part-time delivering pizzas in Pennsylvania. He thought it was just another late-night order, but it became the delivery he'd never forget. It was almost 1 a.m., and John was about to clock out from Tony's Pizza. The neon sign outside was flickering, and the place was empty. Then the phone rang. John sighed, picked it up, and said, "Tony's Pizza, how can I help you?" There was a pause, then a low, whispering voice on the other end. "I'd like 4 large pepperoni pizzas, 91 Old Pine Road." John frowned. That address was way out by the forest, practically nowhere. He almost said no, the store was closing anyway. But 4 pizzas meant a big tip, and John really needed the money. So he agreed. The drive took him outside town limits. Streetlights disappeared one by one. Soon, it was just his headlights, cutting through fog so thick he could barely see a few feet ahead. His GPS started glitching. The radio turned to static. Then, the pavement ended. He was driving on a dirt road lined with dead trees. He muttered to himself, "Man, this feels like a horror movie." After 10 more minutes of silence and darkness, he finally saw something. A house. It was a large, Victorian-style house, deep in the woods. The paint was peeling, and vines crept up the walls. Every window was dark. No porch light. It looked abandoned. John parked the car, but left the engine running just in case. He grabbed the pizzas and walked to the door. He rang the bell once. Nothing. Then, a dim yellow light flickered on inside. He rang it again. Pause. Soft creaking sound. Then, a dim yellow light flickered on inside. "Hello? Pizza delivery." No one answered, but he could hear footsteps. Slow, uneven, coming closer. Then the door creaked open on its own. The smell hit him first. Dust, mold, and something rotten. He stepped in slowly. A single lamp glowed in the hallway, and an old grandfather clock ticked faintly in the corner. "Hello, I've got your pizzas here." Silence. Then, a black cat ran across the hall into a room. The moment it entered, the TV turned on by itself, showing static and faint children's laughter. John's heart started racing. He stepped into the room and saw them. A little girl was sitting on the floor, pale faces, empty eyes. She didn't blink. She didn't move, just stared. Hey, I've got your pizzas. Is your mom around?" No answer. Then she slowly turned her head toward the hallway behind John. Pause. Silence for 2 seconds. John turned around and froze. There, standing at the end of the hall, was a woman. Her skin was gray. Her eyes were black and hollow. Her nightgown soaked in something dark. The pizza boxes dropped from his hands. John ran. He bolted out the door, straight to his car. He jumped in, turned the key. Nothing. The engine just sputtered. He tried again. Then he saw from car's glass dot in front of the car. The woman and the little girl were standing there, staring right at him, their faces emotionless. John screamed, jumped out of the car, and ran into the woods. He could hear whispering behind him. "John, come back." He ran until his lungs burned, until he saw the red and blue flash of police lights in the distance. When the police found him, he was shaking. He told them everything. They went to the house with him, but it was empty. The power was off. No footprints, no lights, no women, no girl. Just a single black cat sitting in the middle of the floor. The next morning, an officer told John something that made his blood run cold. Officer said, "Nobody's lived there in years. The Miller family used to. A mother and her daughter. They were murdered in that house 3 years ago." John realized what he had seen that night. The woman, the girl, they were the Miller family. And somehow, they had ordered a pizza. John quit his job the very next day. But sometimes, when he drives past that stretch of forest, he swears he can still see a faint light in that old house. And once, he could have sworn he heard a voice whisper, "You forgot the change."